Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our lesson 3 in the course Treasury Management. For this lesson, we will be discussing about liquidity management. Although, in the past two lessons naman, we already um, have a brief idea what liquidity is. So, in this lesson, let's dig deep on how the Treasury Department should manage the liquidity of the company. So, at the end of this lesson, I hope that you would be able to understand what liquidity is, how the Treasury Department should uh, manage the liquidity of the company, and let us know the different strategies that the company can implement while managing their liquidity. So, first, let's define what liquidity management is. So, liquidity management technically is a set of ongoing strategies and processes that ensure your business is able to access cash as needed. So, liquidity, diba? So, we said that the cash should be available whenever or wherever you needed it. So, kapag dinagdagan mo siya ng management or how are you going to manage the liquidity, ibig sabihin, eto na yung mga, what are the strategies and the processes, the policies that your business is implementing para magkaroon kayo ng access sa cash. Again, whenever and wherever you need it. Okay? To pay the goods for goods and services, make payroll, and invest in new opportunities that arise. Sabi ko nga, diba, sa inyo kanina, in the past lessons, I already told you that some companies, they are, kumbaga parang, kung mas marami silang access to their cash, mas mabilis silang makapagbayad in their liabilities, mas mabilis silang makapagpasweldo, and kung merong opportunity na i-offer into that company to expand or to invest into something new, mas madali silang makapag-commute. Why? Kasi they have access to their cash, unlike dun sa mga wala talagang access. So, most of the time, banks are often evaluated on their liquidity. Ito sobrang importante sa mga bangko that they are liquid. Okay, later we will talk more about the liquidity of banks. Okay, or when we say they are liquid, they are able to meet cash and their collateral obligations without incurring substantial losses. So, iyon yung malaking challenge sa mga bangko. Oo, maraming nagde-deposit, ganyan, pero marami rin nagde-loan. So, yun. So, now, I have a question here. So, maybe you can just tell me your idea. Okay, what is your idea, or why do you think banks are susceptible or vulnerable to liquidity risk? Bakit yung mga bangko, they are more likely to suffer to the liquidity risk? Bakit kaya yung mga bangko, ini-evaluate sila through their liquidity? Okay, and most of the time, they said that banks are vulnerable doon sa pag-fail into managing their liquidity. Why do you think so? Okay, I'll give you some time, or you can pause this video while you are answering or thinking. So I will give you one possible answer for that. First one is, and why do banks are susceptible to liquidity risk? Ano bang ginagawa ng bangko? Diba? They convert short-term deposits, such as checking and savings accounts and other assets, into long-term loans. For example, I am a saver. Okay, so may sobra lang ako na pera. So, diba nga sabi ko, ang isa sa binabayaran ko sa bangko, hindi lang naman yung, hindi, not technically or directly nababayaran ko siya, pero, kumbaga, isa sa service that they are rendering to me na syempre doon sa interest na nakukuha nila through my money. Kumbaga, yung portion nun, ito yung pinababayad ko dito sa service na to. So, they are converting my short-term deposits. For example, I deposited 100,000. Short-term lang yon, kahit kailan pwede kong kunin yun. Pero, they will convert that into long-term loans. Ano yun? Di ba kapag ka nagpa-car loan sila, house loan, ang bayaran mo 10 taon, 5 taon. So, compare sa akin na dapat liquid yung makukuha ko. Sa kanila, ayan, they will offer that into long-term loans. Ito yung, again, if you will go back to our past course in the banking and financial institution, di ba? Ito yung isa or mostly na services na re-render ng bangko. Now, kung yung short-term deposits, anytime ako as the saver, pwede ko siyang kunin kahit kailan ha, kasi short-term lang yung deposits ko. Iko-convert nila sa long-term loans. Hence, and thus, they are more vulnerable to liquidity risk uh, um, than other financial institutions. So, si bangko talaga, kumbaga parang nagiging issue talaga. Kaya yung mga si Bangko Sentral and the other financial institutions ng government natin, under ng government natin, they are ensuring na itong mga bangko that we have are liquid. Okay, so yun, why? Kasi dahil sa nature nila, they are offering short-term deposits, tapos i-convert nila yan into long-term loans. Malaki talaga yung possibility that they will be or they will suffer. They will experience that liquidity risk. Sometimes they experience losses kasi dahil sa sobrang dami na, di ba, ang dami na short-term deposits, marami rin nag-withdraw. So yun, and marami silang pinautang. So, hindi na nag-meet ngayon yung cash na meron sila to their financial obligation. So, they will now suffer into their liquidity risk. So yun, so as a result, they are susceptible to not having enough liquid assets. Kumbaga parang cash on hand, wala silang, and madalas naman yun, wala silang enough liquid assets on hand when deposits need to be withdrawn or other commitments come due. Siyempre, may mga binabayaran yung bangko. So kailangan nilang kailangan nilang i-manage lahat yun. So that is the main task or function ng treasurer, especially when you are working in the banks. Okay, you have to manage the liquidity of your bank. Okay, so that's the first one that is the main reason why banks are susceptible or vulnerable to liquidity risk. Now, let's proceed to the business liquidity strategy. So ngayon, dahil alam naman natin, not only banks, kahit naman yung mga negosyo, they are also susceptible to liquidity risk. Medyo mas lang talaga kasi yung nature ng bangko ay gano'n. So mas lang talaga sila, mas vulnerable. But every business is susceptible to liquidity risk. Now, let's discuss the different strategies that businesses are implementing to manage their liquidity. We have short-term. These are somehow, or we can call this short-term investments, mid-term investments, and long-term investments. So what are those? I'm going to show you this. Okay. So here, short-term, okay, these are typically lower return with lower risk. So alam naman natin, di ba, the lesser the risk, the lesser the return. So, some businesses, syempre meron kayong cash on hand, di ba? One tip is you should not put all your cash in a single portfolio. Alam naman natin, and it's biblical, di ba? Nasa Proverbs yun, na you should not put everything in one portfolio kasi you will never know what will happen in the world. So kung meron kang cash on hand, you should divide. Kailangan alam mo kung saan mo siya ilalagay. Hindi lang siya dapat puro sa short-term deposits or short-term investments. Hindi rin dapat puro mid-term investments. And hindi rin dapat puro long-term investments. Maubusan ka lalo ng liquidity niyan. So, dahil alam naman natin na ang liquidity requirements are complex and variable, iba-iba siya. Optimizing excess cash requires a mix of both traditional deposit accounts or yung mga short-term investments and long-term investment model or longer-term investment models. So what are we going to do with this? For example, meron kayong cash, meron kayong cash on hand sa inyong business or even sa bank. So yun, business muna. So when you are owning a business tapos marami kayong excess cash, again, ang pinag-uusapan na natin dito ay marami ka na talagang cash. Hindi yung kulang-kulang pa din dun sa mga short-term obligations mo like papapasweldo. So halimbawa, kumita ka. Ayan. Tapos, yung kita mo, you can put that into short-term investments. Kung mapapansin nyo dito sa ilalim, ayan, these are the operating costs. Okay? So, syempre, we have to ensure that the cash that will cover the operating costs should be kept in the short term. Yan, nandito. Why? Kasi kapag short term, pwede mo siyang, mas liquid siya, and dahil nga yung mga operating costs na, um, yung mga operating funds, ayan, these are operating costs, kailangan there is an easy access, kailangan pwede mo siyang ipambayad agad. You have the ability to collect and aggregate access to receivable. So yun, so those are operating costs. So, again, ang tip is yung mga operating costs. Again, operating costs, ito yung mga day-to-day costs na ini-incur ng business. So, syempre, dapat nasa short term siya. Low-risk products, long-term strategic capital may be incurred. So, later pa yan. So, when you classify the business expenses, you can break it down into 4 segments. Una, operating. And this is the first one. Operating funds, reserve funds, strategic funds, and investments. So later, I will discuss restricted funds. So strategic funds, investments, and restricted. So with the exception of restricted cash, ayan, ito yung nasa ilalim. Ayan, halimbawa, hindi naman masyadong malaki yung kailangan into the restricted cash. Pwedeng yung iba, you set aside some of that and then put it on the investments, which is a long term. So, for example, again, for the operating costs, you need short-term investments. Pwede mo ilagay sa demand deposit accounts. So, mag-deposit ka lang sa isang bangko. Ayan. Commercial money market deposit account. Later, I will discuss the money market. Ayan, money market funds, repurchase agreements, or performance checking accounts. Ayan. So, those are some of the short-term investments that we can have. Now, what are reserve funds? So, ito naman sa operating funds. So, ito na yung mga day-to-day na cost na incur ng inyong company. It could be also ang kasama dyan, mga pasweldo din. Ayan, yung mga araw-araw na pasweldo nyo. Yung reserve funds, ito naman yung mga ano na. Kumbaga parang, it could be your emergency fund. Ayan. You should have the access into this if needed. The cushion to cover seasonality in cash flows or unforeseen operating expenses. So, ito yung mga pang unforeseen, yung talaga mapipigilan ng mga emergency funds. Pwede kasi na halimbawa kayo in summer, di ba? Tapos sa office nyo, dahil ang init, mas tumataas ngayon yung konsumo ng kuryente. Ganyan. It could be, halimbawa sa operating funds kasi every day or every month, halimbawa lang 20,000 lang yung binabayaran ng company nyo sa kuryente. Pero kapag seasonal, kapag merong mga pangyayari na like summer, o kaya naman per months, kasi nag-overtime yung mga tao, pwede ganun. So yun, so tumataas yung konsumo nyo ng kuryente. Pwede mo siyang kunin into the reserve funds. Okay, what if ma'am, 20,000 lang yung pinaprepare mo every month, tapos pagdating mo ng per months or ng summer, naging 30, naging 40, di ba malaking cash na rin yan for the company. If you have the reserve funds, which is you should have easy access also, so you can cover up for the seasonal expenses or seasonal cash flows. So now, pwedeng hati yan. Sa reserve funds, pwede mo siyang ilagay din sa short term. Ayan, para syempre mas madali mo rin makuha. Or lagay mo sa mid-term. Okay, what is mid-term? Ayan. So, mid-term investments. So, these are time deposits. Alam naman natin yung time deposits, but let's discuss more of these later. Money market also. Short-term securities like commercial paper and treasury bills. Later, let's discuss those and escrow. Okay? Now, so those are reserve funds. Strategic funds naman is building to execute a future strategic transaction. So, kumbaga parang if you have your long-term plan, so yun. So, ano ba, strategic plan kayo into your company. So, may long-term plan kayo to expand. Ganyan. So, yun. So, you can consider that as, or kung mag-iipon na kayo for that, you can consider that na ilagay sa strategic fund. So what are those? Again, sa strategic fund, pwede mo siyang ilagay into the midterm investments or sa long-term na. Lalo na kung medyo mga after ilang years mo pa naman siya plano. So, for long-term investments, so syempre, consequently, dahil long-term siya, ma-higher yung return niya, pero mas mataas din yung risk. So, alam naman natin yan. So, these are, you can invest through bonds, pwedeng corporate, government bonds, government agency bonds, or municipal bonds, and treasury. Now, what are restricted funds? So, ito naman, yung basta may mga business requirements, di ba? Yung mga, halimbawa, yearly, um, pwede nga ba yung business permit, yung yearly na mga nire-renew, mga ganyan, fire permit, mga ganon. So, yun. So, these, parang dapat meron ka na nitong mga funds na to kasi hindi mo naman ito mapipigilan. You have to comply into this regulatory or business requirements. And again, kung hindi naman nga masyadong malaki to or kumbaga parang meron ka naman na talagang fund for that, yung mga expense or yung mga additional cash mo pa na hindi na talaga gagamitin or matagal pa bago gamitin, you can put that in these investments. Okay? So, you will earn yield on idle funds. Yung mga tulog lang talaga ng mga pondo. You will diversify your assets and you will safeguard your assets. So, yung yung sorry, yung long-term investments, it's you need that also. Okay, kailangan mong isipin na you need that. Kumbaga parang as a treasurer in a company, kailangan talaga hati-hati siya, i-diversify mo siya. Why? Kasi yung long-term investments mo would allow the company to be able to endure greater fluctuations. Kasi kailangan nating labanan yung inflation rate natin. So yun, so when you have long-term investment, so alam mo na sumasabay in the fluctuations ang investment mo. So yun, so kailangan mo rin talaga siya for your company. So, yun. So again, if you are in a company, if you are a treasurer in the company, you should think intelligently, pag-aralan mo siya talaga, how are you going to diversify your funds into short-term investments, mid-term, and long-term investments. Siyempre, kailangan hati-hatiin mo yan, considering the following expenses that you will meet in the company. So that is how you will manage the liquidity in your company. Now, let's discuss some of the terms that we have discussed here, okay, in this chart. Now, first one is time deposit. So, alam naman natin tong lahat, no? So, I think most of us are familiar with time deposit. So, ma'am, what is time deposit? They said that time deposits are for beginners who are afraid of risks, yet want to earn higher interest than a traditional savings account. If you're going to, di ba yung iba parang plano nila na kumita through banks? If you're going to earn through bank saving, it's not advisable to just open a savings account. Okay. Pwede mag-open ka muna, that's the first step. Pero, hindi mo siya maasahan. Parang if you want that for your retirement, hindi mo pwedeng asahan yung kinikita buwan-buwan sa bangko. Kasi sobrang liit lang talaga. Yung 0.01, ito nga lang minsan parang. So, yun. So, if you want to earn more than the traditional savings account, I would recommend time deposit for you. It's the same in the businesses. If you want to earn more than the traditional savings account, pero again, this is in the middle part, mid-term, diba? Ibig sabihin, hindi mo rin siya agad-agad makukuha. When we say short term, so anytime you can get that. Mid-term, siguro mga Spanya, 5 years or 10 years. Depende kung anong arrangement sa bangko. Long-term yung mga medyo kahit mga 10 years, 20 years na. So yun. So, again, so si time deposit nasa mid-term siya. So, these are among the best investments for beginners. And most savings account kasi ang interest lang niya is yun na, less than 1%. Pero ang time deposit, madalas, they earn up more than 4%. So, for example, you put up 100,000 in your time deposit account. And then, ang interest niya, halimbawa sinabi ng bangko ay 3.7 per annum. Or 4%, 3.7 na lang. After a year, you will get 103,700. Okay? So, yun. So, halimbawa, 4% per annum. After a year, yung 100,000 mo, magiging 104,000. Ganun siya. Mas malaki talaga siya. Yun nga lang, hindi mo talaga babawasan yun. Talagang hindi mo siya tatalawin yun. Bakit ginagawa ni bangko yun? Again, di ba? Kasi yung mga short-term na mga nagsisave sa kanila, i-convert nila yun into long-term loan. So, kailangan, kumbaga safe sila na kung naka-time deposit lang, hindi mo talaga kukunin. Pero paano kapag kailangan ko talaga yung pera? Meron naman, pwede mo naman siyang makuha, pero lesser na yung, lesser yung interest rate. I don't know if some of the banks will charge you a fee. Ayan, kasi parang hindi ka sumunod dun sa time deposit na usapan mo. Ganun siya. So, yun. So, but that's, hindi naman siya ordinary. So, yun. So, mostly lang, ang nangyayari is, sobrang liit lang nung interest rate na ma-earn mo from that kapag hindi mo tinupad yung time deposit mo. So, yun. Next is money market. Ito na, narinig din natin ito kanina. It could be in the short term or in the long term. So, what is this? This is a component of the economy which provides short-term funds. Si money market, so, paano po yan? Halimbawa, sobrang tayo na sa company. Kasi napagkasundoan nyo, sige, let's put it in the money market. Na-i-invest nyo yun doon. Tapos yung mga tao there will it will provide loans for the people. So parang ito yung kumaalala nyo in the past lessons natin in the banking and financial institution. Parang secondary market ito, or in parang sila yung agent. Itong money market yung agent. They will get the funds from the savers. Doon sila this financial market will gather all your savings, pagsasama-sama nila, tapos papautang nila. Yeah. So, the money market deals in short-term loans, generally for a period of a year or less. Short-term loans lang yan, so ibig sabihin, liquid pa din talaga yung pera. So, at the wholesale level, it involves large volume trades between institutions and traders. Sa retail level naman, si money market mutual funds will be bought by individual investors, ano daw ako, individually, and money market accounts opened by bank customers. Kasi pwedeng sa banko, mag-open ka ng money market account mo. Now, what are money market funds? It typically invests in government securities, certificates of deposits, commercial paper, later let's discuss that, and other highly liquid pero low risk na securities. So those are money market. Now, these are the attributes of money market securities. Dapat the maturity is 1 year or less. Ayan, kapag ka nag-invest ka in the money market securities, kikita na yung pera mo within a year. There is high degree of liquidity. Dapat madali mong makuha yung pera mo. Pero syempre, hindi ka mag-expect ng masyadong mataas na kita kasi low na din naman yung risk. And the clustered returns across different types, and the secondary market is over the counter. So those are money market securities. Now, sa short-term investment portfolio, somehow ganun din siya, pero under na si money market. What are short-term investment portfolio? They seeks to provide current income and preservation of capital with a focus on short duration securities. So short-term investors, so gagawin nila, syempre short-term investors, kasi you will have your own short-term investment portfolio. Now, they will invest in financial instruments intended to be held in an investment portfolio for less than 1 fiscal year. Less than 1 year now. What are those? Money market accounts, high yield savings accounts, government bonds, treasury bills. So those are short-term investment portfolio. We're done with the first part of our video, which is about the discussion of liquidity management. So for the next video, I will be discussing how to finance short-term cash requirements. Although that video is somehow a review, if you can still remember our topic in the banking and financial institution in the past semester. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you again on the next video.